Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isaac and let's talk about some stories. Unfortunately this week I wasn't able to bring you guys any spoiler videos, but I will be bringing you the chapter breakdown as promised, and without further ado, let's begin. And today we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1063, chapter of the title, The Only Family That I've Got. The chapter starts off with a cover story of what's going on in Whole Cake Island. On the cover story, we see a picture of Brûlé crying. Crying about what, you ask? Well, let me tell you. She's crying about the fact that Pudding has been kidnapped. Next to her on the floor, one of her very own Sweet Commanders, Cracker, has been frozen solid. Now, the only possible culprit for this has to be Kuzan. You guys might be asking yourselves, why would the Blackbeard Pirates want Pudding? Well, I'ma tell you. Pudding is part of the Three-Eyed Tribe, and as we all know, when the Three-Eyed Tribe's powers activate, they're able to read the Lode and Road poneglyphs. And Blackbeard's crew being mostly filled with powerhouses, they probably don't have anybody who's capable of reading the Road poneglyphs. This might be a setup for Sanji saving Pudding further down the road. If it happens, you guys heard it here first. This is how Sanji Pudding happens. The chapter starts off with you guys subscribing to the channel. Okay, but for real though. The chapter starts off with Luffy, Bonnie, and Chopper stuffed to the brim with all the food they've been eating from that raw material food maker. And we get to see another one of her inventions, the Recycler, which is a tiny robot dog that goes around eating all the junk, the plates, the utensils, everything. Probably to turn that into more raw material and hopefully maybe make more food. And with that being said, Vegapunk Atlas just takes off and leaves the Straw Hats behind. As Atlas takes off, a bunch of little lab assistants start showing up, which is odd because the place was quite deserted beforehand. Jinbei, being as keen as he is, makes the assumption that perhaps these guys were in hiding because they weren't totally sure about who we were friend or foe. And the fact that we had a discussion with Atlas is proof that we are safe to be around. While this is happening, Luffy walks into another machine and comes out dripped out in his new Vegapunk outfit. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite fit for Luffy. This is not my favorite outfit. My favorite one was Wano when he had the little black thing. You know, he looked kind of like Roger. That was tight. Seeing how Luffy got a fit for free, Bonnie, Chopper, and Jinbei all jump into this machine to get new clothes, which obviously looking like residents of the island will help with any covert ops. Luffy, Bonnie, and Chopper looking the part, and then you have Jinbei just in a Hawaiian shirt, sticking even more out than before. But to be fair, any chance of covert ops was flown out the window as soon as Luffy was on their team. I gotta say, my guy, that outfit that Bonnie's wearing it's doing something to me. Now, equipped with the new fit, Bonnie wants to head out, get some weapons, and start her revenge on Vegapunk. But before she can, the Paw Patrol shows up and we see a police outfitted Kuma here to take on the Straw Hats, and without a moment of hesitation, he rushes and charges them. Turns out the food and the clothing were not free. Kuma is here to arrest them. I use the term arrest lightly because without hesitation, he fires off a laser beam in their direction. Obviously, not wanting to die, Luffy comes in with an elephant gun, but gets stopped in the middle of it by Bonnie with a kick to the face.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Obviously, Luffy's upset that Bonnie got in his way and asks, why are you trying to stop me? Did you not see him firing off a laser at us? I've got to slug him. And that's when Bonnie finally reveals that Kuma is her father and begs Luffy and the crew to not hurt him since she's the only family that she has. Now, if this doesn't confirm it, nothing else will. Bonnie is going to be the next princess that Luffy saves from despair. As Bonnie is struck with grief and is explaining to the pirates that her father is Kuma, the pacifista wastes no time and fires off another laser in Bonnie's direction. Our boy Luffy jumps in to save the day, and all we see is a giant explosion coming off of the island. And from that we cut to a certain sea in the new world, and we're greeted by none other than Blackbeard's new ship, which has had a bit of an upgrade. Turns out that Blackbeard is attacking Law while his ship is submerged underwater, to the point where they have no choice but to surface. For those of you who have ever wondered, would Law be hot as a chick? Yeah, we get that answer today because Law is now a woman. Turns out there's someone on Blackbeard's ship who is able to forcibly switch people's genders, and it is contagious. But Law, being the genius that he is, remembers that in the fight against Big Mom was able to cancel out his Devil Fruit abilities using Haki. Henceforth, he should be able to dispel this forced gender change using the same method. And within moments, he does exactly that, turning back into the good law that we love. Turns out the Blackbeard pirates are now outfitted with devil fruits. We got Dot Q, who is responsible for the gender flip. Turns out he's got the sick fruit, allowing him to spread diseases at will. This one in particular was called the Mal Lady. You had Van Hoger, who's got the warp fruit, and using his ability, he warps Burgess over to the island that Law was heading to. Burgess was already man strong, and to add more sauce to this pan, he now has the buff fruit, giving him superhuman strength. Now I know what y'all are thinking, most characters in One Piece have superhuman strength. Yes, they do, but not like this. Burgess picks up a mountain and gets ready to throw it at Law and his crew. But luckily Law, being as quick as ever, uses room to get rid of the mountain. And that's when we see Blackbeard riding atop Dot Q, riding atop Stronger, the horse who is now the owner of the mythical Zoan model Pegasus. And he reveals that he knows that Kaido must have had a road poneglyph, so he was just waiting for one of the 3 pirates to show up and he would take what they have from them. It would seem like there's no escaping this fight, so Law gets into battle stance and prepares to take it or lose it all. And that's where the chapter ends, my guy. Unfortunately, we did not get any news of what's happening with Zoro and the rest of the crew, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting some info on that probably next chapter. I wouldn't be surprised if we completely cut away from the Blackbeard and Law fight to something completely else. It is very much an Oda thing to do. We will be finding out next chapter, and boy, I gotta say, I'm quite excited for it. That's gonna be it for the video today, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you disliked it, dislike it. Any feedback is good feedback, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.